Aryan Khan to Stan Swami, we look back at all those who stayed in the news cycle in 2021. After being arrested in the Cordelia cruise ship drugs case, superstar Shah Rukh Khan's son remained on the top of the news cycle in the last quarter of the year. On October 2nd, after the Narcotics Control Bureau conducted a raid on the cruise ship en route Goa from Mumbai, Aryan was detained along with his friend Arbaz Merchant and Munmun Dhamecha. During the raid, it was reported that the NCP had seized illegal drugs such as cocaine, charas and MDMA. The next day, Aryan along with others were arrested on charges of involvement in consumption, sale and purchase of the contraband. What followed was media frenzy over the star son's each step as he moved in and out of courts. Finally, on October 28, the Bombay High Court granted him bail, saying no evidence was found to suggest a conspiracy. Aryan returned to a lit-up Mannat on October 30. Recently, the Bombay High Court granted relief to Aryan and exempted him from appearing before the NCB office every Friday. NCB Zonal Director Sameer Wankhede, the man behind the raid to bust an alleged rave party on the Cordelia cruise ship, which led to the arrest of Aryan Khan, had already made a name for himself as a cop with a no-nonsense attitude. From catching singer Mika Singh with foreign currency at the Mumbai airport in 2013 to ensuring the World Cup trophy in 2011 was released from the airport only after paying duty, and spearheading the drugs investigation case involving actor Riya Chakrabarti and her brother Shovik, which began after the death of Sushant Singh Rajput, the 41-year-old is no stranger to headlines. What kept the 2008 batch IRS officer in the news this year was first the allegation by an independent witness in the drugs cruise case who said Rs 25 crore was demanded on behalf of Wankhede to let off Aryan Khan, and then NCP leader Nawab Malik's tirades against Wankhede, from calling the raid fake to alleging that Wankhede extorted money from Bollywood stars and questioning the latter's religion to having a fake caste certificate. Subsequently, Wankhede was removed from the Aryan Khan case and now faces an internal probe on charges of extortion, forgery and misrepresentation. The Nationalist Congress Party leader started off with spilling the beans in the Aryan Khan case. In multiple press conferences, Malik talked about how a conspiracy was hatched to arrest Aryan in drugs cruise case, at the helm of which was NCB Zonal Director Sameer Wankhede. Malik's Twitter account was agaloor with posts questioning Wankhede's religion, caste and even his marriage. This led to Wankhede's father Dhyan Dev filing a police complaint and a court case against the NCP leader. Recently, Malik tendered an unconditional apology to the Bombay High Court for making public remarks against the NCB officer and his family. The former Maharashtra Home Minister was arrested on November 2 by the Enforcement Directorate under the provisions of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. This came after former Mumbai Police Commissioner Paramveer Singh accused him of asking police officers, including the SUV bomb scare case accused and former Assistant Police Inspector Sachin Vaze, to collect Rs 100 crore from bar owners as bribes when the minister was in office from December 2020 to February 2021. This led to the CBI registering an FIR against Deshmukh on charges of bribery, corruption and criminal conspiracy on April 24. The ED also got on Deshmukh's trail and filed a money laundering case against him for allegedly obtaining illegal gratification. On June 24, the investigating agency searched Deshmukh's residence after finding a money trail of Rs 4 crore, allegedly paid by bar owners in Mumbai to Deshmukh over 3 months. The next day, Deshmukh's personal assistant Kundan Shinde and personal secretary Sanjeev Palande were arrested. The ED also summoned Deshmukh for questioning, which he skipped 5 times. At last, the Bombay High Court refused to quash the summons against him, and Deshmukh appeared before the ED on November 1. He was arrested the next day. The 1988 batch IPS officer who came to the limelight over the arrest of BJP MP Pragya Singh Thakur in the 2008 Malegaon blast case suffered a downfall this year. From shielding his former colleague and SUV bomb scare accused Sachin Vaze to being involved in various extortion cases, the former Mumbai police commissioner made the headlines for a good part of the year. In November, Singh was also declared as an absconding accused by a Mumbai court. He later moved the Supreme Court, declaring himself not absconding. The top court then gave Singh protection from arrest in connection with inquiries initiated against him by the Maharashtra government. On February 25, a green-colored Scorpio was found parked near Antilia, the residence of industrialist Mukesh Ambani. Upon investigation, the abandoned vehicle was found to contain a set of number plates, 20 sticks of explosive gelatin, as well as a threat letter. Encounter Specialist Assistant Police Inspector Sachin Vaze, who had returned to the police force in 2020 after a 16-year suspension, was given the job to handle the case. The Scorpio was found to be in the name of car decor businessman Mansukh Hiran. National Investigation Agency probe revealed that Hiran knew Vaze from before and had given him keys of the Scorpio car. The case turned murkier after Hiran's body was fished out of the Mumbai Creek in Thane on March 5. In a classic case of investigator turning out to be the perpetrator, Vaze was accused of murdering Hiran and planting the SUV outside the Ambani residence. The NIA arrested the police officer and he was once again suspended from the force on March 13. Shilpa Shetty's husband and businessman Raj Kundra was arrested on July 19 in connection with cases related to allegedly making and distributing pornographic content via subscription-based apps like Hot Hit Movies and Hot Shots, and was granted bail by a Mumbai court on September 20. Investigation revealed the Hot Shots app was developed by Arms Prime Media Private Limited, a firm founded by Kundra in 2019. Arms Prime later sold Hot Shots to Kernan Limited, a UK-based firm owned by Kundra's brother-in-law Pradeep Bakshi. Accounts of witnesses and complainants reveal that the accused also threatened actors who hoped for a big break in films or web series to get them to comply. Actor Gehna Vashisht, director Tanveer Hashmi and Umesh Kamath, a representative with UK-based production company Kernan Limited which owns Hot Shots app, were also arrested in connection with the case. On December 15, the Supreme Court granted Kundra 4-week protection from arrest. The 84-year-old tribal rights activist and Jesuit priest accused of being involved in the Bhima Koregaon violence case was the oldest person in India slapped with the stringent Unlawful Activities Prevention Act and jailed since October 2020. The year started off with the intellectual finally receiving his straw and sipper, denial of which led to a furore last year. Swami suffered from Parkinson's disease and suffered from hearing loss in both the ears. Due to his ailments, he had applied for a medical bail last year, which was rejected by the NIA court. On May 28, 2021, the Bombay High Court came to the activist's rescue and he was shifted to a private hospital for 15 days. Even when the octogenarian tested positive for COVID-19, he moved HC against some sections of the UAPA. Swami, however, suffered a cardiac arrest and passed away in a Mumbai hospital on July 5, the same day when his interim bail plea was scheduled to be heard. The BMC chief was lauded this year for handling the COVID-19 crisis in Mumbai. On March 16, Chahal was also awarded the Lokmat Maharashtrian of the Year 2021 award by Union Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and lauded by Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri for right approach and judicious use of resources. The BMC chief was also in the news for putting a stay on the scheme of distributing food trucks by corporators. On November 28, stand-up comedian Munawar Farooqui posted on social media that he is quitting comedy. This came after his scheduled show Dongri to Nowhere was cancelled in Bangalore amid protests by right-wing outfits who alleged that the artist had hurt Hindu sentiments in one of his previous shows. Before this, his shows in Mumbai and Gujarat were also cancelled amid vandalism threats by fringe groups. Farooqui was also arrested on January 1 for allegedly making objectionable remarks about Hindu deities and Union Home Minister Amit Shah during one of his shows in Indore. The turbulent year though seemed to end well for the stand-up artist, who along with the fellow comedian Kunal Kamra was invited by Telangana IT Minister K.T. Rama Rao and Congress leader Digvijay Singh to perform shows in Hyderabad and Bhopal. On December 18, Farooqi performed at a show in Mumbai, which was facilitated by the All India Professionals Congress of Maharashtra, his first event after 16 cancellations.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.